I mean, it really, and I loved, reading your book, just the variety of things you did to kind of unpack that and detoxify. And one of the things that I think really is at the heart of getting to a core issue, which I think is just mental health. I think there's so much diagnosis, I mean, just, and you have to, if I don't participate with insurance, but if someone does, you have to give the diagnosis to get the treatment. But, they're just slapped with a diagnosis of anxiety or bipolar, or people just say I'm type A, just stressed out. And they don't understand the way that those things, the origin of where they came from. And you really have to be just very curious. And it does take unlayering. And with anxiety, for example, which is the most common, I really look at kind of 5 different areas. There's, am I living my life in a way that there's environmental things that are impacting that? Is there emotional regulation? And that's, where people feel overwhelmed by their emotional states. Usually that comes from childhood, not necessarily, but mostly, and then unresolved trauma, and then genetic variances. So I can tell you that story later, but we have a daughter who had a pretty serious brain injury. And so that really led me into understanding a whole nother layer of kind of things that influence mental health that we walk around. We don't really understand those genetic variabilities. And then, like you mentioned, there are a lot of people that have had trauma more likely to have gut issues. So a lot of times there are things in that realm. So you do really have to unpack it and be able to understand. And I think that's part of lifting that shame, is to say that I'm not just broken. I'm not just weak. I'm not stressed out. I'm not designed to be this way.